Have you ever felt like your life is a buffet line? Lots of dishes for you to try, but the moment you pick up a plate, you freeze because choosing one dish means not choosing all the other dishes. You tell yourself, I'm just multi-passionate. And maybe you are, but the problem is that even though you have all of these passions, you're still standing at the buffet line holding an empty plate. You're not trying anything from the buffet and you're not moving forward in the buffet line. You're just standing there. And the longer you stand there, the more frustrated you feel and the more disappointed you get in yourself. Well, if that's where you're at, I'm very glad you're here because today we're talking about how to start moving forward in your multi-passionate buffet line. Welcome to the Confident Christian Woman podcast, where we tackle questions about things that have been keeping you stuck in unfulfillment, dissatisfaction, or straight up misery. This is where you'll find the help you need to move forward from confusion, fear, or self-doubt into joy, fulfillment, and peace. This is where we become confident Christian women who not only believe, we obey. Now, let's dive in. Our question today is, what do I do when I have many passions but can't choose a clear path forward? If that sounds familiar, good on you for wanting to make the right choice. That's very admirable. But I bet that you are tired, maybe even exhausted from hovering over the same decision without actually choosing anything. And I bet you're tired and maybe a little embarrassed of telling people that you're exploring your options when what you're really doing, it turns out, is stalling. Because the truth is, indecision feels safe, but safe hasn't been getting you anywhere, has it? So let's dig into what's really happening behind the screen of I have so many passions that I just can't choose one. There are at least 5 different fears going on here. We're going to talk about each one of them. So the first one is fear of failure, which sounds like, if I pick the wrong passion, what if it bombs? What if I waste my time and energy and end up with nothing to show for it? So instead of choosing something, you avoid the risk of failing by just not choosing anything. The second one is fear of missing out, which sounds like, if I pick one, then I lose out on all of the others. So you just keep all of them sitting in the buffet display and you yourself are starving in the buffet line, right? Instead of putting your whole heart into even one of them. The third is fear of judgment, which sounds like, what will people think if I put myself out there and it doesn't work? So you avoid disappointment by never giving them anything, by never giving them the chance to see you fail. And then there is fear of commitment, which sounds like, if I choose one, I can't hide behind my excuse of being multi-passionate anymore. I'm afraid to commit. At that point, if you actually choose, then you'll actually have to make a move. And when you do that, you risk making mistakes and exposing your imperfections. And you just kind of want to avoid all that, right? And the last one is, believe it or not, fear of trusting God, which sounds like, if I pick one, do I really believe that He can redirect me if it's not the right one? Or am I secretly convinced that He'll let me just fall flat if I misstep? That last one can be especially sneaky because when you indulge in indecision, it can feel like wisdom, right? You can tell yourself that it's wisdom. But what if it's actually disobedience because you are refusing to trust God to guide you once you move? I hope that you can see the hidden cost of using this excuse or reason of many passions to stay stuck. You're not just delaying decisions, you're delaying obedience, and delayed obedience is disobedience. It's disobedience, right? So you're actually being disobedient. Quick pause. If today's episode is hitting home, I have something for you that you'll love. It's called the Clarity Roadmap, and it's a free guide that's designed to give you a quick jump start out of feeling stuck. Remember, you don't have to have all the answers. You only need your one next step, and this free roadmap is a great place to start. You can grab it for free right now at the link in the show notes. Okay, back to today's episode. The Bible does not shy away from this issue. James 1 verse 8 says the double-minded person is unstable in all his ways. And that's what decision paralysis is. It's instability. But God gives all of us another choice, because yes, you're choosing indecision. When we're stuck in indecision, it's because we're choosing indecision. By not choosing one of your passions to explore, you are choosing indecision. All right. So Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6 say, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take." I want you to notice the order of things in this verse. You trust him, you seek him, you move. Right? That's the order. Meanwhile, God's job is to show you the path that he wants you to take. And the truth is that you don't, take it from me, I know from experience, that you do not need the whole map before you act. Okay? I dithered in indecision. I have dithered in indecision many times, waiting for God to give me a whole entire roadmap. And I didn't need it. He never gives us all of it anyway. He gives us our one next step. So for you in your multi-passion indecision, what you need is the faith to take the first step, which is in this case is seeking him. And I don't mean talking continuously at him. What I mean is instead to bring your request before him and then get quiet and listen to what he says to you. Because yes, as a born-again believer in Jesus Christ, you have the Holy Spirit living inside of you, and he speaks to you, but you may not be paying attention. He wants to guide you, but you have to want to hear him. You have to listen. And then after that, you make the move that he shows you. And when you stop hiding in indecision, you get to experience God's absolute faithfulness in real time as you walk with him in obedience. So instead of asking, which passion should I pursue? Try asking these questions instead, and please answer them. Like actually answer them. Okay, they're not rhetorical, as I always say. So here are your questions. What has staying stuck in indecision already cost me in time, opportunity, and obedience? That's a tough one. That's a tough one to face, but please be brave. Be a little bit brave and face it, answer it, tell the truth. Here's the next question. If I keep delaying, what could it cost me next? Again, tell the truth. Tell the truth. What small step of obedience could I take today that honors God with the gifts he's given me? If I did know what to do, what would I do? Now, I know that this question sounds like a trick question, but very often, deep down, you already know. You already know. But you've just been using confusion and indecision as an excuse for not stepping out. So I'm going to tell you that question again, and please do not dismiss it. If I did know what to do, what would I do? You will get an immediate gut answer, and you'll be tempted to dismiss it, but don't. All right, here's your next question. What would shift in my life if I believed that God was big enough and loved me enough to redirect me if my first step or my second or third steps aren't perfect? What does my indecision reveal about my willingness to be obedient to God? That's another one that can be kind of an ouch, but be honest, don't shy away from the answer. And if you really want to talk to God about this, like deeply, talk to him about it, which I highly recommend. Here's a prompt for you can use to open up a conversation with him. Lord, I've been telling myself that I have too many passions to choose, but you know the fears underneath that excuse. What am I really afraid of? What step of obedience are you asking me to take right now? And then wrestle honestly with him until you hear his direction. God is not afraid to wrestle with you. So wrestle with him until you hear his direction. All right? Now, if you're ready, here is your action step for this week. Choose one passion to move forward with. Yes, I said it. I said it. And I said just one. I didn't say 2 or 3. Choose one passion to move forward with. All right. I'm going to give you some guidance on how to do it. All right. So you have 4 steps. Number 1, list them out. Like write down the top 3 or I don't know, maybe up to 5 passions that feel alive in you right now. Just write them out on a piece of paper. Number 2, pray over them. Pray over them. Ask God, Lord, which one do you want me to take a step with right now? Number 3, pick one. Pick one. Circle the one that keeps tugging at your heart or the one that rises to the surface when you get quiet with God. And if one doesn't surface or doesn't keep tugging at you, then just choose one. Just choose one. It does not have to be as big of a deal as you are making it. And number 4, approach it with curiosity, not fear. Please remember that you are not marrying this choice forever. You're experimenting with it. You can choose, I'm begging you, please, choose to approach it with curiosity, which can be like, it can sound like, how might this work out? How might I learn if I give this a try? What might God do through this step? Right? So like that's curiosity. Approach it with curiosity and maybe even fun instead of the pressure of perfection. So I really highly recommend curiosity. And then take one small step forward with that passion that you've chosen. It might mean sending the email or starting the outline for whatever it is that you want to write or create or whatever. Try the class, whatever is the next tiny move. Take it. Please remember that you don't have to get any of it perfect. That's not what this is about. The important thing is that you refuse to stay paralyzed anymore, because you're not going to get clarity from thinking harder or waiting for some magical zap from heaven. Instead, you'll get clarity while you're in motion with God as he's showing you showing you the way step by step. You know what? In fact, the move that you make might not work out. Let me just tell you straight up, it might not work out. But you know what is more important than it working out? You finally practicing obedience to God. Yeah, sometimes God will direct you to choose something or to do something that does not work out And then you'll be tempted to say to yourself, Lord, why did you make me choose this one? Or you start to think that you start to doubt your ability to hear God. Sometimes he on purpose leads you to choose something that's not going to work out, because he's giving you the opportunity to practice being obedient to him. No matter what, God has done that to me. He has done that with me, and I thank him for it, because it helps me to grow and develop my obedience muscles. So that is one of the reasons why I'm strongly advising you to approach the thing that you choose with curiosity. Okay, approach it with curiosity, because it may very well be a smash hit, or it may just be like, a flop. It doesn't matter. What matters is you being obedient to God and breaking out of this paralysis that you have been in. All right, that just came up. So I know that is helping somebody right now. All right, now as I said, you trying this out may not turn out exactly the way you want it, or it may flop altogether. But please, let that be okay. Let it be okay. That, whatever the outcome, just let it be okay. I'm telling you, if you approach this with curiosity, you will relieve so much of the pressure, the unnecessary pressure that you're putting on yourself. You can relieve all of that pressure by just letting go of the need for this to turn out a certain way. Let it be what it is, and just practice being obedient. All right, we are at the end of this particular buffet line. Did you like what I did there? Here's the reality. Indecision, it feels safe, but it is absolutely not. It's costly. It's very expensive, because it costs you peace, it costs you time, and it costs you the fruit and the rewards of obedience. But the moment that you stop hiding behind the excuse of being multi-passionate, and you start to take small steps, everything begins to shift. Because once you start to move, God can steer you. God cannot steer you if you're stationary, and if you refuse to move, and if you've dug your heels in. Nobody can steer something that's not moving. Steering, you only steer something that's moving, right? So once you start to move, God can steer you. Imagine what could open up for you if you stop delaying. Instead of circling over the same questions and doubts, you could actually start to see progress. Instead of drowning in options, you could actually start to see fruit from one simple step of obedience. Instead of feeling paralyzed, you could finally start to experience the absolute joy of walking with God in forward motion in obedience. So what do you do when you have all these many passions and you feel stuck in trying to choose a clear path forward? Well, my darling, you stop using many passions as your hidey hole, and you start obeying God, one step at a time. Thanks for spending time with me today. And hey, if you were listening along and thinking, I don't want to miss this kind of encouragement and inspiration every week, then now's the time to hit follow so you never miss an episode. I'll see you next week.